Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Arkham Files, Season 3. I'm Dr. Henderson.
I'm Dr. Boose.
And today, we go into the case file of the, a villain that I know, like, nothing about. The case file of Julian Gregory Day, a.k.a. the Calendar Man.
Yeah, I know Jack besides that trophy in Arkham City.
Well,
And
this is probably going to be the quickest case file we've ever read.
all right.
Um, but, I mean, what, what, what do you think about what you know of Calendar Man?
What do I think about him? Now I always thought, well, I think he's a person like I want to have. It's like a kid, like you want to have faith in of, okay, this kid can be something,
Yeah.
but they keep disappointing you. You know, like
Well, he's only really been in one comic book, like
yeah,
as a big villain,
and
and it
that
was The Long Halloween.
yeah, Long Halloween. And which is great. Great. I saw the anime movie, which is good, and the I read the comic, really good. Now, yeah, I mean, while he's cool in that, but then that's just kind of it. There's not everywhere else. It just seems like he's more played off as like a Riddler type guy.
Mm.
Noah, you're kicking me under the table. Tell me to
Yeah.
shut up. Well, as in the sense of I feel like they try to make him like you just don't take him as seriously. Like, oh, this is just a guy that's obsessed with calendars, or like not calendars, but like the dates.
Yeah.
And that's really his thing. And I'm like, well, it's more to it than that. That what I believe he should be, anyways.
Mhm.
But pretty much, I'm just like, I just don't think his full potential is not there yet of what he could be. Like if Matt Reeves got a hold of Calendar Man,
Ooh.
like it's the same way he's done with
Well,
Riddler.
that's like, well, you could say that like if Matt Reeves gets a hold of any Batman villain, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I wanted to have that movie effect with comics. Like the movie made it popular, so now we're gonna do it with this character from now on. Like
That would be cool. Calendar Man's
I'm hoping that's
never,
the effect that
well,
happens.
Calendar Man has never been done other than a cameo in the Suicide Squad,
Mm,
and which it mentions here at the end.
yeah,
I guess we go ahead and
played
get
by
into it, and we can continue on. Obviously, my first introduction to him was Batman Arkham City.
yeah,
And then the Lego Batman movie.
yeah. Like oh yeah, uh,
I
uh,
had the Lego figure of him.
mm.
I think it
I
came
never
in a
I
set with it came in a set, and I can't remember. Let me look this up because this is gonna bother me if I don't remember this.
how can you
It
remember
came
it?
in a
Well,
set. I think it was the set with Condiment King.
maybe that's
Like
sad, dude.
it was a good set. No, okay. Uh. Oh, okay. No, it was the set with the Riddler and Kite Man. But you know why I got it. Well, that's actually three. I mean, the Riddler, Kite Man, Calendar Man. That's a lot of cool like Batman villains, and I was into Batman Legos, so that was my
Yeah.
thing. I was like, oh, more lore. Add them into my Lego lore.
I know more war stories I could put with these guys.
Yes. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into this right here. Here we go. Calendar Man, or Julian Gregory Day, is a supervillain appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics as an enemy of the superhero Batman, belonging to the collective of adversaries that make up Batman's rogues gallery. Calendar Man is known for committing crimes that correspond with holidays and significant dates. He often wears costumes to correlate with the date of the designated crime. His name is a reference to the Julian and Gregorian calendars. In his debut, the character is presented as a joke villain, but in later years, writers developed Calendar Man as a dark, disturbed criminal who toys with Batman. The character made his live-action debut as a cameo in the DC Extended Universe film The Suicide Squad in 2021, portrayed by Sean Gunn.
Yeah, I was like, ain't James and his brother
Yeah.
doing.
Why don't you come entertain my daughter's birthday party? Was that guy? I can't repeat the rest of the line.
The one thing I thought was the funniest in the I've seen with Calendar Man was in the Harley Quinn show.
Not so I haven't seen it.
There's a part where his like ex-wife or whatever brings their daughter, to there, and he for some reason can't remember his daughter's birthday. He can remember everything, but I thought it
That
was
is
pretty.
funny. That's funny. It says here Calendar Man first appeared in Detective Comics number 259 in September of 1958 and was created by Bill Finger and Sheldon Moldoff. He returned after 20 years to play Batman again in Batman number 312 in June of 1979. Okay, let's get into his biography. Starting with criminal career. Calendar Man is fascinated by dates and calendars due to an obsession with important dates and trauma surrounding important holidays. His crimes always have a relationship to the date that they are committed. The theme may be related to what day of the week it is, or to a holiday, or to a special anniversary on that date. He will plan his crime around that day. He often wears different costumes which correspond to the significance of the date, though he does have a main costume which has various numbers meant to represent days on a calendar sprouting from his shoulders. Um, he next appears in Batman number 312, June 1979, in which his crimes are based on the days of the week. His costumes reflect the Norse and Roman gods they were named for. For example, Saturn. Calendar Man fires an ultrasonic sound weapon at Batman, nearly killing him, while Batman recuperates. Calendar Man commits crimes on Friday and Saturday. He plans to leave Gotham on a train called the Western Sun Express on Sunday, the traditional, quote, day of rest, knowing that the police would be waiting for him to attempt to steal an artifact of the Egyptian god of the sun, Ra. Batman captures him at the train station before he boards. Um, so it seems like already he's a very unlucky character. So maybe his connections to Riddler are.
Now I'm kicking you under the table. Telling you, told you so.
Oh. Um, let's see. Was I? Oh yeah, okay. The issue also marked the first appearance of his most commonly known calendar cape costume. His next appearance in Batman number 384 to 385 in 1985 and Detective Comics 551 in June of 1985 sees the Calendar Man at the onset of the crisis, being used as a pawn of the Monitor in an attempt to find an assassin to eliminate Batman. In this instance, the Calendar Man's theme is holidays, and he attempts to use the young Jason Todd as Robin as the Batman's Achilles heel, with the promise of his demise on the first day of spring. Ultimately, however, Robin himself captures the villain.
Hmm.
More unluckiness. Um, okay. His best known modern appearance is in the miniseries Batman the Long Halloween, where he's portrayed as a Hannibal Lecter-like figure, offering insight in Batman's search for Holiday, a serial killer who uses holidays as his modus operandi. Like Lecter in the novels of Thomas Harris, Calendar Man knows who the killer is and keeps his information to himself, choosing instead to taunt the heroes with cryptic clues. He returns in that story's sequel, Batman Dark Victory, in which he impersonates deceased mobster Carmine Falcone in an effort to drive his children, Alberto and Mario, insane. When Calendar Man, as Carmine, tries to get Alberto to kill himself, however, the younger Falcone detects the ruse. Alberto knows that his father abhors suicide, and thus figures out that Calendar Man is manipulating him. At the end of the story arc, Falcone's daughter, Sophia Falcone, beats him to a pulp as revenge for his role in her father's death. In both stories, Calendar Man is bitter that the new murderous rogues have taken the attention off him. He fears that he is being forgotten.
Well, he kind of did.
Yeah.
Did become forgotten.
Um, Calendar Man teams up with Catman and Killer Moth as part of the Misfits, a group of villains trying to prove themselves in Batman Shadow of the Bat number 7 through 9 in 1992 to 93. Also, he is among the Arkham Asylum inmates. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Freed by Bane in Batman Nightfall, but he's easily recaptured by Power Girl shortly after his escape. In Teen Titans number 14, Calendar Man and several other villains whose crimes center on time-based motives, including Time Commander, never heard of him, fight the title's heroes over a valued hourglass. Calendar Man appears in All the Deadly Days, a story in 80-page giant Batman special edition number. That's a long comic book title.
It is a long time ago.
80-page giant Batman special edition number 3, in which he has acquired a new high-tech costume and moves up to more grandiose crimes. He makes an appearance in the alternate reality story Superman Arkham, which was written by Jeff Loeb. Calendar Man appears in the series Harley Quinn as an inside informant to the title character. In week 20 of the weekly series 52, a radio broadcast a message saying that Calendar Man was left tied up for the cops in Gotham City. Even though there is no Batman, it is revealed the new heroine, Batwoman, was responsible for his capture. Now, That was that. And now into the New 52. In
Hmm.
2011, DC rebooted their continuity in this universe. Julian Day is a mob enforcer for the Squid. While he is popular among his colleagues for his brute strength, he abuses and neglects his young child, Aiden. However, when Batman goes looking for weaponry being sold by the Squid, he encounters Aiden, who tells him his father's location. Snitch. Sorry.
What a snitch.
Oh no. Batman assumes the persona of Matches Malone and goes looking for Julian. Julian, meanwhile, finally decides he should pay his child some attention and plans to get a calendar, but Batman forces him into a bathroom and punches him into some tiles. Okay. The tiles create a calendar-like scar across his head. Julian Day appears again in the New 52 Future's End event, in which he's become a hacker who calls himself Calendar Man. Batman and Riddler manage to defeat him. Also, another version of Calendar Man, not specified as Julian Day, appears during the Villains Month event. This version is the host of Channel 52, which reports on important villain-related events. Calendar Man claims he does this because he fears that nobody else will keep track of the day-to-day events. And that was the New 52. Um, DC Rebirth. In DC Rebirth, Calendar Man is a permanent inmate of Arkham Asylum. When Batman hid Psycho Pirate in Arkham, Bane came for him and tore through the asylum and defeated all of its inmates, who Batman had freed to weaken Bane. Eventually, Bane confronted Calendar Man, but instead of fighting him, Calendar Man stated that everything was just a loop, and that all of this was pointless, as Bane would never win. And that is the end of the case.
You know the crazy part about this?
What?
It's more interesting and just a much more pleasant experience looking through this K file than Solomon Grundy's.
This is true. Since it was so quick, I'll name off some of his other media appearances because they have a list here. I mean, he was in the new Batman Adventures. But I think this version was a female. Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
former supermodel. It says here, Calendar Man was in Batman: The Brave and the Bold. Uh, let's see. He was discussed to appear in Gotham, but this never happened. It's been interesting. He
I'm
was in.
surprised, like with shows like that kind of going for like somewhat like a cheap route to, like I feel like Calendar Man would be like one of the first people to like come up,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah. Um, I mean, the first episode I think had a villain called Balloon Man.
Exactly. Like why not?
I think it was the first episode. Might have been. Anyway, he appears in the Harley Quinn show, voiced by Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk is he voices a lot of characters, but what's most important, he's voicing Dr. Phosphorus in Creature Commandos. One of the members of that team. Um, he was in the Lego Batman movie. He was in Batman: The Long Halloween, voiced by David DeSmalchin, so Polka Dot Man, from the Suicide Squad. Um, and he was in the Suicide Squad. Let's see, Batman Arkham City. We talked about that. Batman Arkham Knight at the end of it. Is this who I think it is? Ugh. Is this the guy who voices? Okay, I gotta look up who voices Craven in Spider-Man 2. Hang on. Voice actor. Okay, it's the same.
It's
Calendar
the
Man
same.
is voiced by the same guy who voices Craven in Spider-Man 2 and Lego DC Supervillains, the game.
What in the world? It's like you got like some of the best like voice actors that would be this guy.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, still stand by what I said. Way more interesting than Solomon Grundy's. It's crazy because as little as a reputation Calendar Man had more of a presence of a Batman villain than Grundy did.
This is true. But yes, that would be the end of the case file. Um, okay, so I guess with that, we will go ahead and get ready to get out of here. So next week, you guys can look forward to another episode. Um, there are 3 episodes left, counting next week. And next week's episode is, excuse me, will be about Firefly. So that should be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I guess we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of the Arkham Files. I've been Dr. Anderson.
I am Dr. Boose.
Yeah, see you in the next one. Goodbye.